welcome back to another week of Life at the Outpost.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town and once again back in the winning circle.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, defeating the three-time premiers, Penrith Panthers, albeit very depleted Panthers, a very depleted Cowboys side, turned up with a lot of defensive resolve. And, yeah, come out with the win. Attack was good again. Drinky setting a lot up there. Clifford, some amazing kicks. Chad steering the side around. And some of the forwards that were filling in just really turning up. McIntyre, big ups to McIntyre. I think probably didn't get spoken about enough initially anyway. In terms of from the reviews and things.
Despite Sinbin, Purdue as well.
Yeah, Purdue, Sinbin, and Drinkwater Sinbin, a little bit contentious, the Drinkwater one, but whatever. They sort of fought against the odds, and that was the big thing, I think, not so much turning point, but the big defining factor of that game, I think, was that big defensive resolve in that moment when they had Drinkwater go off, and then I don't know if Purdue went off while Drinkwater was off or just after.
Just after.
Yeah, it wasn't very long after. It was a second consecutive sin.
But it was unlike anything we've seen from the boys this year.
Yeah.
Which is, hopefully for me, a turning point.
Yeah.
This was probably the first time where I can say, you know what? I don't need to go into the podcast this week talking about Defense.
Non-existent defense.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not for a bad reason anyway, you know. I don't have to come into the potty and talk about bad defense.
Yeah.
I can talk about great things.
Yep.
And I think I'm stoked with that. I think Drinky had a sensational game.
Yep.
I think even Felty had a sensational game, really.
Drinkwater's somewhat to his standards, usual standards, but despite that sin bin and a little bit of that, did
it was
well,
good to
definitely.
see Felty actually trying to make plays as well, not just sitting back waiting for a ball and running doing what he can.
Yeah, exactly, stepping up.
It was really good.
Yep.
It was really good.
Yep. Yeah, we saw Felt get his, I think it was at the 9th or 10th consecutive season. How many? It was some stat anyway. He's gotten at least 10 tries for however many consecutive seasons or whatever each year. Good to see Felt scratch off another
a try game for every year, maybe.
Possibly. I think it was at least 9 or 10 tries a season for the last however many seasons or something of the like. Just another milestone for Felt to notch up on the belt there. The Cowboys faithful.
Starting to get up there on the overall too.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, 100%. Well deserved. Him and also Braden Burns, as you mentioned. Burns had a good game again. Every time he's filled in so far this year, he's done very well.
Fantastic,
yeah. He's done his job well. Hasn't made many errors at all. He's done quite solid. I think he did really well in defence as well, which was solid. I mean, albeit Panthers' attack was very disjointed. They just never really seemed to string anything solid together, unfortunately. That first kickoff of the game into touch sort of set the tone for it, right? They just couldn't seem to string or get anything together, unfortunately.
He was actually been doing pretty well as well. Alamotti, he was doing well the last couple of weeks too for the Panthers.
Well, even when they played us up here a month or two, a couple months ago, I think it was a month and a bit ago. He was pretty standout then, you know, but he just a little bit on tilt maybe.
A little shaky.
Yeah, exactly. Clifford again, I think did real well filling in the 6th there. Good to see a little bit of kicking game or diversity in the kicking game. Just kicking higher and longer downfield. I don't think there was really many massive results from kicks, was there?
No, it wasn't super off kicks. It was all off pass, really. I think Drinky pass game has been
solid ball playing ability.
Really, really outstanding.
Yep. Purdue actually picked himself up a try.
Meters gain though, different story. Kicks were sensational.
100%. Yeah, in comparison, it was just something that again, unlike the defense, unlike we've seen most of the season, which is
now. What I wasn't sure on was I believe there was an issue with conversions and just in general field goal kicking. Did Drinky either get hurt or did he just give the opportunity to Clifford?
No, I don't think he's that good kicking from the left. I think it was Clifford took that kick. Yeah. I think his kicking game's just not the best. So I think that's why he was opting to take the right-hand side kicking, and then Clifford took the left, which he got that first one, nailed that first one. It was just that second one he just waved away a bit, I think.
There's going to be some angry punters over that one.
Yeah,
Any players' points?
I think that's probably really all that one comes down to. Chad's not much of a conversion kicker himself, I don't think. He's not much of a kicker in general these days, but he does, he just still get the odd field goal here and there. He went for one, and I think Fisher Harris might have charged it down in the first half there, but I think that's all that was really. We should have Val back on deck this week kicking our conversions. Hopefully his strike rate's that of it was for Origin and get a nice 100%. We can put a few tries on to convert.
Speaking of Chad, bit of a breaking news, probably within the last 30 minutes or so. Going to the Roosters.
Yeah, supposedly so. No official announcement yet, or no pen to paper just yet, but it's sounding like that's going to be the likely destination for Chad, heading back to Sydney, as we always thought would have happened. Unless he was to go overseas and earn a big pay packet. I think he's probably found his better option for himself or his family anyway. Head back to Sydney. Play out probably 1-2 seasons down there with the Roosters. He'll have to take a pay cut, obviously. Although the Roosters still somehow seem to be able to afford him, he'll have to take a pay cut. But guide young Sam Walker, offer some guidance to Sam Walker, and then young Sandon Smith there as well over the next season or two, however long we do. We don't actually know how long the contract's for. It won't be for very long, though. You wouldn't imagine.
1 or 2, you have to imagine, right? Surely.
Yeah, but reported by the Daily Mail, I think it was maybe, or something. We'll see. I'm sure within the week, even before the
Probably
weekend.
Probably a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, team lists are today, so after that, I imagine, coming toward the weekend, you'll probably see a bit more of an official announcement or something. But yeah, the Chad's time is up at the Cowboys. Had a good first 2 years, I think. Just the last season and a bit has been bit
of a slump.
Pretty average. Came in and offered exactly what we needed when he came to the club. That's it, exactly what the Cowboys needed. Someone to run them around and guide them around the park, and that did well, and we saw some results from that. But now young Tommy Dearden's starting to come of age and his game's improving. It's looking like himself and Clifford be the halves moving forward, which is then going to open the door for young Tom Duffy to get a bit more first grade, or get some first grade game time anyway.
When they're outs and stuff like that.
Yeah, he can slot into Clifford's current spot, which will be the fill-in spot, I would think. And should see a new combination moving forward.
And just even from like the very, very small glimpses we've seen, geez, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, definitely. Like we've spoken about when Clifford's filled in for Dearden while he's been away on Origin duty this year. Just very good, very positive signs. Good to see some decent kicking game. See, that's the thing too. I do love Tommy, but the kicking game's just not there from Tommy. Like, he can kick if need be, the ball comes to him, but he doesn't really have a kicking game either.
His passing game is far better.
Yeah, his strengths aren't in his kicking game. He can put some, grubbers out and that here and there, which are good, but just
passing game.
Long kicking game just isn't really there, whereas I think that's where Clifford's going to shine and excel. So, it'd be pretty exciting to look 100%. Forward to, something to look forward to.
I guess the other question I had, just touching on some of the things we've spoken about in the last 10 minutes, you have to wonder, I mean, Felty's probably going to do another year, you reckon? You reckon?
Possibly. He could very well finish up this season. It could be a bit of a go out on a high more than anything, I think, because after last season specifically, or especially, but I think he's really reined it in, for lack of a better term, but he's come back into form.
There's something about it that just makes me think, I wonder if he's gonna try and get to Matty Singh.
Yeah, well, I think he definitely could.
He'd have to work really hard for it.
Yeah, the options there, he definitely...
I think he's at 128, I want to say 128. and I think Matty Singh's at like 160 or something like that, maybe. So
Yep.
150 something, 150, 160. So
Yep.
I think that'd be kind of cool if he does, but as long as he can actually continue the form. But it's
Yeah.
interesting that we mentioned that he gets so many tries.
Mm.
There's still plenty of time, and especially being on the wing, and there's still games where he can score 2 and 3. So
Yeah.
it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility. But I wonder if that's something that he'd be looking at.
Yeah, maybe. You'd have to think it's always in the mind of someone that's within the realm. It's an achievable thing, but also
20 to 30 tries though, in like maybe a season and a half, you'd be like, it's tough.
I think he's probably with himself. You would think he's sort of realised, or he knows in himself that he's toward the end of his career. So from now, it's just
and mind you, be happy with what you got as well, because he's done stellar.
Yeah. I think you would think for him it's probably more so a little bit of just playing the best he can for the Cowboys and keeping up that good footy. Much similar to, like, I hate to always keep comparing them, but Oates, when Oates came back in form, it was sort of just get in, do your job, and do it as long as you can, sort of thing. I would think he probably could play next season, definitely, but I would be very surprised if he doesn't maybe call his career at the end of the season, go out on a high. Like, I'd love to see him play on next year, but yeah, it would surprise me if he does, or if he does in first grade anyway. It might be a bit of a James Tamau sort of thing. He just steps back. You know what I mean? Every possibility, man. He could definitely go around another year for sure. Yeah. There's not a whole lot to talk about for next week anyway. We've got the Seagulls this weekend up here at Queensland Country Bank. Still haven't got team lists dropped just yet, probably another half hour or so, but you would have to think we're going to have all our Origin players back up, well, not back up, but return. Robson back in the hooking role. Edwards has been filling in all right, and he hasn't really set the world alight, but he hasn't really done too bad there. I just don't think he's got that same service and flair.
I was going to say flair,
out of that hooking
pizzazz, flair,
position.
Robson just hits diff. Is what it is. It's hard to compare, really, but
he's a New South Wales hooker for a reason.
And if anyone still wants to refute it, especially after their performance in Origin, I'd challenge that. Jeez, I'd challenge that for sure. That I just don't believe it. I think there's no other option. I think Reece Robson is the best available New South Wales hooker right now.
Yeah, definitely.
By far.
Yep. You'd have to think they all return. Cotter, Val, himself, Tommy obviously, very clearly as well.
Yeah, I think Tommy was ready to back up this week, really, but I think boss's orders,
The only one I don't know is Talangi carrying some sort of injury or something. It might have been game one. I might be mixing him up, but I feel like I saw him go to ground and just hold his shoulder a bit. Now, obviously, they all got rested, so there wasn't really much talk of injury or anything coming out of that. Coates was the main Origin injury this week, but
roughy.
Let's have a quick squiz and see if there's anything listed. No, nothing on there. So, hopefully we do. Hopefully we do see him then.
Valme's back soon too. Interesting.
Yeah, he'll be back for selection in a week or two after that ankle thing. So, which, mind you, I think probably Burns. You probably want to see fill in again if Talangi goes for game 3.
Agreed.
But yeah.
I still think I'd rather see Semi as a centre.
Yeah, exactly right. Fill in for Holmes, maybe.
Build him as a centre.
Yep.
Spend the rest of this year and not in off season just eating, boy. Putting down them calories.
Viliami Valea, sorry, has been pretty good ever since he
had a stellar game. This
been given his opportunity. Well. Yeah, probably third string centre. I think he's done real well. I think looking at this game against the Sea Eagles, thinking Cowboys are going to win this one. Probably not clear cut, definitive. They're going to be a thrashing, but I just think from what we've been seeing from both teams lately, and like you mentioned earlier, the defensive resolve of what they dished up the Cowboys against the Panthers there. If they can do that again, I don't think
bring that.
I don't think Manly got much of a chance. Albeit they're going to have their Origin stars all back too, I would think. having the Trebojevic brothers as the big one. Tommy set to make a comeback in centres, it's being reported, in the centre position there. I think he's probably going to fill in for Garrick. I'm pretty sure Garrick's been rested because of that concussion protocol thing. It's his 10th fucking concussion for the year, I think. Old Ruben.
Yeah, he's in danger as well. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, with the concussion side of things, yeah. But yeah, supposedly Tommy making his comeback at centre there. We'll see how that goes in terms of structure and that for the Sea Eagles. It's probably a bit more of a thing to prolong his career or whatnot, to protect him a bit. But yeah, I think we've probably got him outmatched a bit around the park, unfortunately, for the Sea Eagles at the moment.
That's right.
I do believe they've still got Carl Lawton, unless he's injured, but Carl Lawton, who's coming to us next year now that I think of it, at hooker. So Robson, I think, is just going to beat him out there, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
Val, I'm hoping Val can come back and find a bit of form again, a little bit of better defensive form and that, and get back to his solid striking attack power we know he can have at times. He just seems to have a bit of a lull. This year and last year, there's just been times he seemed to sort of lull a little bit, I think.
Honestly, I think it's more his ball handling this year that's made me a little bit upset.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, even Cotter as well.
Yeah,
Cotter, I think, is probably getting to that point where he's just possibly feeling the fatigue of being a middle forward, being in the middle forward rotation.
I also just question if maybe they're just trying to overplay their hand a little bit. If they're feeling under the pump, they try and overplay it, and then they just let it loose.
Moment or a lapse, and just a drop ball or something on the back end of it. Yeah. There's been a couple of them that haven't been great with ball control this year. Unfortunately, it's seen a lot of turnover and knock-ons and whatnot. But yeah, I've got full faith the fellas are coming away with the win on this one here. One thing, just to throw back quickly to the Panthers game, I thought it was good to see Jake Granville had a very solid game. Injured his bicep a month or two ago, was it? It wasn't really that long ago, and he's back already.
But it was a nasty one too. So man's got the recovery mob on deck.
Yeah. He's come back and had a great game, stellar game. So I think he'll probably see himself hang around the side just for a little bit longer as well. As we know, it'll be his last year anyway this year. So give him as many games as he can. But very, very solid. So I just think we've got probably, in terms of our forward rotation, that we've probably got a little bit more to offer, especially after McIntyre had such a solid game as well. With that team list, there's not too much more to really mention, I guess. I wouldn't think, but
you can sort of picture what the team list looks like, though, for this week, which is good.
Yep.
I agree, though. I don't know if Murray's going to get rested again before Origin again.
Yeah. I don't know. It might have even been game one. I'm thinking of. Might be mixing up. I just feel like I saw him go to ground.
I still think he's even
carrying something.
Yeah, that's my issue.
He didn't look right in Origin. Like, he just didn't look right. I don't think. Like, he was.
I genuinely believe that it would be beneficial for both him and the team to leave him out and just keep Burns in for a little bit.
Yep, even if it's a week or two extra.
Just a couple of weeks.
Tell him, just train and get yourself right.
Or even better, just get through this weird period and Origin and get the shit out of the way, and then come back when you're ready.
Yeah, or even that as well.
Like 21, 22 sort of thing.
Yeah,
21 probably. I think that's a way better play in my opinion. But
exactly.
I ain't a coach.
He's one that's unfortunately struggled a bit with injury over the last year or two, season or two, whether it be from fatigue or whatever, and just come back and not being in the greatest of form on the comeback or whatever. Taking a while to readjust is probably the better way to put it.
What else did he do? Was it ankle as well?
Yeah, he's done an ankle.
Yeah, shoulder and ankle. I think it was. They've been his bane.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is hard for a winger when your ankle or your lower body's not up to snuff or it's hurting. It makes it.
Even shoulder nowadays. Geez.
Yeah,
exactly. Cop it these days.
And the way we know Murray plays as well, he's a pretty flashy player when it comes to finishing in tries and whatnot. So, you want to have him up to standard. But yeah, like you said, Burns being great, been filling in great there. So even if we do see something like that potentially, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I think for this one, I will be tipping Cowboys by. Could do a bit of a weird one. Cowboys by 10. just because I do foresee possibly a kick going astray from the right-hand side of the field at some point, unfortunately. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Seagulls might be a bit disjointed. They're sort of on a little bit similar to the Broncos, on a little bit of a slide down at the moment, unfortunately.
I've actually got Cows by 12.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's going to be a clean 2 tries ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think we're missing a kick.
Yep.
But I think we get an extra 2-pointer.
Yep. Make up for it with a bit of a penalty off an error somewhere.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are also very prone to giving away errors on try lines.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I can see a 12-pointer.
Yep.
I don't think it's a 13+ angle.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a little tighter than that.
Yep.
But I think by the end of the game it'll be edged out to at least a good 10 to 12. So
should be pretty ideal conditions too for both teams. It's winter up here, which isn't really a winter. It's cooler. But all that means is it's not as humid as the rest of the year, really. So
awful heat.
Yeah, so it should be
a standard day down like any other day down south.
Yeah, should be a bit more comfortable for the Sea Eagles, but I think the boys will just see the job through, get it done, which will be good. It'll be interesting to see if potentially Tom Chester does maintain his bench spot somewhere there too. I don't think he will, but whether he does. We'll see what happens. Once team lists drop in that. But that's about it in terms of the big news in that for the last couple of weeks. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see the same players pending injury and stuff get picked for Game 3 of Origin. So I'm sure they're all going to be wanting to put their best foot forward for the next few weeks, especially. But yeah,
ravage us again.
Yep. Yeah. Was there anything else in particular you wanted to talk about for this week before we wrap it up?
You know what? I just want to shout out one more time how great it is to see Clifford back in the side.
Yep.
And how great he's performing.
Yep.
And I think the future is looking very good.
Hometown hero.
Yeah. I think the future is looking real good.
Yep.
I'm excited for that.
Definitely. So, yeah, like we said, early as next season, 2025, it's looking like we'll probably see that combination and he'll be getting
maybe sooner if he gets paid up, but I can't see them paying him out because the Roosters are in just as much drama as us.
Yeah.
So how the hell can... Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
see you there, 2025.
Yeah, Clifford getting his opportunities and making the most of them, doing really well. Very positive to see. So, yeah, I agree, most definitely. With that, we might wrap it up for the week. We will return just before Origin 3. I think it should be when the next episode's out, when we do the next one. But for now, go Cowboys. And thanks for tuning in to Life at the Outpost. Follow us on Instagram or YouTube, Apple Podcasts or Spotify even, if you feel like it. Keep an ear out. I'm thinking in the coming weeks, we'll probably do a competition of sorts for 2 tickets to one of the upcoming games. I'll work it out, and by the next podcast, I'll have it sorted. So if we can get some of our regular listeners involved in that, or even some new listeners, it'll be very ideal. So until next time, thanks for tuning in.